What's going on, guys? Captain Rick. We're sitting here at Godfrey, and it's October 25th. We just got done running a trip. We're fishing out of here because the customers that are fishing with me this weekend have a house rented nearby. I'm also spending the weekend at a good friend, Casey Prisco's house in Pulaski. So the fact that we've been fishing the deep water here, the north side of Shackleton, it just made sense to come here rather than keep burning gas from Oneida shores every time. We left here in the dark, and I found out on the way here these guys wanted to jig. So I have not really jigged much at all this year, but I said, what the hell, why not? So we broke up the jigging rods. Started out with mostly jigging wraps, ended up switching over to blade baits. Blade baits were probably our best. We hopped around from 6:30 till almost 11 o'clock, trying different spots. The best spot we fished was west end of Shackleton. Found it as I was cruising to a spot that I've done well in the past, jigging, and marked some fish on the fish finder. Stopped, turned around, dropped lures, and we banged a few fish. So that is a Demiki Vault in a 1/2 ounce. That took a few fish. I also took a couple of keepers on, I believe this is an I1 Baits Fire Tiger, again 1/2 ounce. I think we ended with like 3, maybe 4 keeper walleye jigging. Found a spot in Maple Bay that was absolutely loaded with perch, but they were all small. Had a little fun there. But at 11 o'clock, I made the decision that we had to put the trolling rods out. And I don't know if I was able to get 8 rods out from 11 o'clock till, well, what time is it now? We probably quit around 2 with our 15 fish limit. I don't know if I got 8 rods out. It was just constant action. We fished a little shallower than we've been fishing the last few weeks. We were fishing 35 to 37 foot of water. There was a ton of fish in the bottom. I almost wish I would have just pulled the trolling rods out and tried to jig that because they were just glued to the bottom. And I bet it would have been a really decent jigging bite. And we may try that tomorrow if we get a handful of fish in the box. We're going to start out trolling. And if we start to pile drive when we get close to our limit and we see the same type of screen, we'll probably break out the jigging rods. Which is nice to have options, I think. So our trolling spread, we fished 35 to 37 foot of water. I targeted my baits 30 foot down, again with the 50+2 method, using 2 and 3 ounce snap weights. On one side of the boat, I ran all bay rats. This is a carbon copy of what we did the last few weeks. So this is the blue tiger. This is your coral reef, fire tiger down here. This is a fire tiger flicker that I was running on the other side. Rods kind of got mixed up. On the opposite side, flickers, black and silver, silver blue. Here's that green tiger, bay rat. And then this was a new color I threw out today. I think this is called parrot or something like that, but that was a good one on the flickers. So 10-pound mono rods, we ran 2 ounce offshore guppy snap weights. 50 feet, snap on the 2 ounce, send it out to 95, clip on the board, send it out. So we ran 2 of those on either side, and then we ran, inside of that, we ran our braid rods with 3 ounces. We were running those at 85 feet back. All of those were going very, very well. I don't think there was a difference between flicker shads and bay rats today. As long as the rods were out there and fishing, they were catching. It was really that good. Just a ton of 14 to 14.5 inch fish out there. Our best one today, I believe, went just under 21 inches. That came right at the end of the day. And talking to a buddy, Jeremy Sage, who was out here fun fishing, he got a couple of 20s towards the end of the day as well. A couple in that 21, 22 inch range. So there's some good fish out there, and my live well, they were puking up shad. There was a couple that fell out already, and you can see in there we've got a couple of shad still sitting in the live well. So that's what they're foraging out there. We didn't see a ton of bait schools out there. Don't know where those were in conjunction where we were fishing, but the screen was just phenomenal. Again, a lot of it was fish just laying on the bottom. So that's pretty much our report for today. Lake temperature cooled down. It's like 58 now out here in the main lake. So I didn't lose as much heat as I thought it would have. Other than that, we'll be back out tomorrow. I do want to say though, when we were drifting, that guy up there on the bow with the new drift feature is really cool. I was able to, with my Humminbirds here, see my drift line with the new drift mode and set my drift at 0.4, 0.5 miles an hour and not have to worry about bags or, you know, how to set up the drift. I mean, dummy proof. Set it and forget it. Awesome way to make drifts if that's what you're into. So I do want to give a shout out to my Minn Kota today because it worked overtime. That's it for today, guys. We'll be back out tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the guy at the launch that said he watches my reports and said he was looking forward to today's report. So really appreciate the support and everybody watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.